And we are live.
Are you looking to turn your one-time customers into loyal fans who will consistently support your brand? In today's episode, we'll explore how building a community can create lasting relationships with your customers, enhance brand loyalty, and significantly boost your bottom line. Stay tuned if you're ready to transform your e-commerce business into a thriving community. Welcome to eComFiles Live. We started this video podcast to help e-commerce store owners to be successful and reach financial independence, but most importantly, build momentum and have an impact without burning out on the way. We're going to cover everything from marketing to operations and beyond. Let's get started by talking about community. Sebastian, what's the value of community in e-commerce?
That is a really good question. Welcome, everybody. And if you hear the thunder in the background, I'm sorry about that, but we just had to get this episode to you today. So
I'm at the beach. I'm at the beach. He's a thunderstorm. I'm at the beach.
Yep. Okay, community. I think the first question we need to look at is, what is a community?
Yeah. Okay. So
what are your thoughts on that?
When I think of a community, I just break the word down, break the word up. I think the first part of the word is commune, right? So I think there's a place where there's communication, there's people, there's connection, and then unity, community. I think there's unity, there's some type of bond. Usually there's some type of value. I think of community as a group where there's some type of utility that people connect for a reason or a purpose or beliefs or or ideas. How about you?
That is a really interesting way to break that word apart. And the second half I like in particular about that, that people come together for a common purpose. I think everything else is true, what you said, but I think that is really the core of what is important to us when we want to use a community in marketing. So how do we get people together? How do we find a common purpose that aligns with our business?
Yeah.
To make a community work in marketing, you need to build a community of your ideal target audience. And if you look back at our prior episodes, that's kind of what we always are talking about. Know your customer, get your customer together. And there are very, very many quite different ways of building a community. There's a completely hands-off way where you just provide content. Well, that part is not hands-off, but you don't need to manage the community.
All right.
Just build a resource, a place where people come to get information about their thing. That's one way to build a community. You might compare that with a magazine.
Right.
A magazine builds a community of loyal readers. Even though it's a kind of a one-way street, there's always a little bit of two-way when you think about a magazine, but most of it is one-way. It is still getting those people together and attracting just the right type of people, the ones that are more likely to be your target audience. So if you think about selling wine glasses, it seems to be the only example that I can come up with.
It's your favorite one.
Yes, you could create a wine magazine website. Wow. Now, I would not go the paper route, but create a wine review website. That will definitely get your target audience together. But that is only a very niche case of community. What other communities are there? You can create Facebook groups, you can create in-person events, but the idea is the same. Get people that are interested about a specific topic that is closely related to your offer to come together. And
and before you go further, I think this is what you're talking about is really important, because I think many times when people think about building communities, they kind of just think automatically about the different types of platforms and ways they can do it, right? They're like, they don't really go what you're doing, because you're really going through the right process of doing this is, identifying the topic, knowing your audience, what interests your audience. So I think the approach that you're taking that's very important, I think the audience needs to be picking up on, it's almost like I think they're called anthropology, where they go and they study people, they study how they congregate. I think you got to kind of study your audience and see how they connect with each other, or how they live their life, right? And then then you can kind of pick those things out, right?
Yes, and the platform is a tool.
Yes,
you can build your community with almost any tool.
Right, exactly.
So don't focus on the platform. Find out what drives or attracts your audience.
Yeah.
And then you might find that one tool works better than another. For a lot of businesses, Facebook groups are really effective, but for other businesses, not at all. So don't focus on the tool, focus on your audience.
We always go back to that. Know your audience.
Know your audience. Yes, we always go back to that.
Well, I mean, Sebastian, I'm just thinking of just a quick example to kind of go there a little bit is, if we think about, let's say, for example, the prepper community, right? People that are really passionate about being prepared for any type of disaster. You're talking about right now, you're dealing with a rainstorm, right? I'm over here at the beach, right? So there are those that they're really passionate about being ready, right? And there's some who might be a little bit paranoid. So that community might resonate more with, people that a community where there's a lot of videos, or people are sharing how-tos. So maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's a YouTube video platform, or maybe on a Facebook group where you have a bunch of people sharing their insights, and this very dynamic communication, right? So you got to kind of identify those factors.
Yes, they might also be more likely to go to a platform that is less government oversight and more niche market people in that audience. So again, know your audience.
Know your audience. Exactly.
And the prepper community, like if you have a flashlight, to just come up with a different example, a flashlight that doesn't need batteries, because it's a pump action or a shake or whatever. That type of battery could any prepper would that type of flashlight, any prepper would like to have that. Probably. So building a community of that audience is a perfect move to sell more of your flashlights. And building a community is also just one way. You could certainly also get away without doing that with running your ads and the like, but there is a big benefit in building that community, which is you have basically an unlimited amount of potential customers that you can talk to at any time. And if you control that community, you control, well, it's easy for you to place your product information.
That's right, because they're right there. Well, I mean, you're right, because all you got to do is be a little bit creative. Like one of the communities that we were looking at the other day is for a product called Honey Stinger. And this is a very popular product that's good for athletes as far as getting energy, a quick shot of energy, and is healthy. But the community is very, very vibrant. They have a community over 300,000. They're very, very vibrant, and they have different events where they can get together. They have they gamify it because they're athletes, so they're very competitive. So they have ways they can get awards, right? So there's different ways of
and important there is their community is not about their product.
That's it. Yeah.
Because you can't build a community about the thing you sell. Well, some companies can. Most companies can't. Like if you think
maybe for Apple, right? If you're Apple,
yes,
you can
exactly. So if you are not Apple, you probably can do it, and then you have to find another thing. And that's why I'm saying find something that is near your product. Like if you think about Honey Stinger, they create food that you can consume while exercising, while doing your sports, while competing at events. And to build that community, they create those events that people want to compete in. They also have a very interesting catalog of articles on their website that attracts that community. And I'm not sure there, but I bet you they also have a Facebook group or something along those lines where those people congregate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they don't even need to sell anymore. They can just mention their name every once in a while, and people will naturally look into what that is all about.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah. So I mean, I think those are huge keys. I think people, if you look at community, many times as we started this conversation, people focus on the platform. But if you look at it from this aspect, as you're saying, Sebastian, really focusing on your community, what are their needs, what are their desires, how they already congregate, right? How they're already active as far as with their passions and their lifestyle. You can just fit in there and provide what they're already looking for. And then now you provide the value that they need to congregate around.
Yeah. And then if you do live events, just give out a sample of your product. And now you're talking another mechanism in marketing, reciprocity. You will create not only a loyal community, but a loyal community of customers.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And then there's a bonus. One of the things you mentioned earlier, Sebastian, was about the importance of content. But then if you're giving them opportunities to try your product and maybe giving prizes, what happens is they start to create what we call user-generated content. So they almost become brand ambassadors. So you're getting content that's getting the awareness, and people are seeing it used and organically. And there's no better positioning than people using your product and other people seeing your product from a social proof standpoint.
Absolutely. And with that, you get affiliate marketing kind of for free.
Yes.
Potentially even influencer marketing for free.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of opportunity there.
Like think about you're creating the sports event. You're feeding the athletes your product, and the TV team is recording all that while that star runner is running through the goal line with your product in his or her hand. You can't get a better ad.
Absolutely not. For free.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I love it. I love it. Yeah. So awesome. Sebastian, are there any? So I mean, if you were to give like a quick recap as far as just some of the things that people should be aware of as far as community and the value, what are some key things that you tell people to really kind of focus on?
Well, the first question to answer is building a community worth it? Which is kind of the topic of this episode. And that's a question you need to answer for yourself, because while it's easy to say it's all free, it isn't. As everything in marketing, it is a lot of work. Building a community and keeping it happy, meaning keeping the community engaged, is a lot of work, and you need to interact. You need to hire people that know how to keep a community alive. Community managers is what you call them. But if you make it work, if you put that effort in, it will pay back big. So if there is an area of interest around what you are selling, it is probably worth for you to build that community. If there is not an area of interest around the product you're selling, you might have to look into a different product.
Agreed. Well, guys,
so that's step one. Step two is figure out what is that common thing that brings those people together. Is it sports? Is it wine? Is it prepping? And then just feed that need that your ideal audience has, and that will build that community for you. And then the last one is, don't start with a tool. Pick the tool that supports all the other parts of the story.
Really good. Wow, Sebastian, that was awesome. Well, guys, you heard it. I really love those points. That's a good wrap up. I think it hit everything. Thanks for showing up once again. We hope you found this information valuable. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. If you want to see more content like this, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, hit the notification bell, share. We want to get share. We want to get comments. If you guys like what you're hearing, we'll keep bringing it. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Sebastian, like always, any last words?
Well, I kind of said it already.
Pretty much.
So nothing to add to that. Maybe just the one that we always say, know your audience.
The audience.
Thank you for showing up. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.